Hello there, welcome to my computer. This is what it looks like. Now in this video, this is what we'll be going through. Okay, so I'll be covering time and we'll be talking about if we have any breaks or any leaves or anything like that, any holidays. Then we'll cover like the course layout, which is quite extensive. And then I'll show you what a lesson would look like here and the goal with everything in your expectations. And then at last, it's the tuition and the confirmation I could add as well confirmation. Okay, excellent. So I've ordered it like this. So this is the end of everything. Now, if you still have questions after you've watched this video, then do not fear. You can just literally just send me an email because now we're supposed to be friends. We're supposed to be talking twice a week at least. So yeah, you can call me by we're a first name basis by this point. Okay. So, first of all, I want to discuss the times. The times will be Tuesday but most of this will be in the email that I just sent you. I just want to confirm this to you. Tuesday to Friday, and we'll start 7 uh, like this, and we will end at this time, and this is GMT, so Greenwich time minus nothing, so that is Greenwich time. Okay, and this will be these 2 days. And what we'll do is we'll divide up the lesson into review for an hour, and then we'll have like a 15-minute rest, and then we'll do the next hour, um, and that will be a practice session. Okay, excellent. And asking about, I talked to my friends about this and with some of you as well, and you're asking if it's just a 9 month long course, and I said yes, of course it is, and maybe we should discuss on that a little bit as well. But don't worry, we are flexible, and if you want some breaks, I can imagine maybe some of you want a summer break. It's good for your mind as well to rest your mind a little bit as well. So we'll discuss that, and I'm very open to taking some breaks as well for a few weeks or so. Um, Again, this is a pilot, so I'm giving you a heavily reduced tuition fee, but also in return, I want your feedback. So whatever you think is the best, that is what I value the most. Okay, so as to the course layout, I want to discuss here. Let me mark three things that I want to discuss first. Now we have video slash or to flashcards to dialogues. Okay. Now, as you sign up to this program, you give me your email, the one you use to log into our Domino website, this one here, and I'll give you full access. You see, it says that I don't have a subscription, but I still have full access. Now, what you do is for every lesson, you see, every until Tuesday now, you're supposed to have finished one chapter. That is 4 lessons. So for instance, if you just start the course, we will start now from level 1. And if you already know level 1, well, don't worry, then you can just tag along. Um, and you can get a feel of the whole thing. Okay, now chapter 1, and then it's 5 chapters. So obviously this will take us 5. Well, let's call them lessons then, teacher lessons. So before you come to the first lesson, you need to have watched these 4. Okay, and then you come to our Tuesday lesson, and then before the Friday lesson, you need to move on to chapter 2 and watch these 4 lessons, and so on and so forth. Excellent. Now that is the videos. That is pretty straightforward. Now, if you don't know it already, our flashcards are wonderful, and as soon as you learn a word, they'll they'll pop up here automatically. Okay, so what you do then is you just make sure that you don't have any overdue cards, which I happen to have quite a lot of right now. And what you can do is you can switch from English to non-English as well. And by the point you're here, we will have expanded on this a lot, and we will actually have you'll be able to review it by domino levels and by HSK levels even, which is fantastic, no? And 2 other things, we'll actually be able to give you sentences as well, so you can review just sentences, and you can toggle off and on if you want to review with sentences or not. So very useful sentences that I deem very useful. I'll put them into this as well. Okay, the other thing is that you'll be able to review flashcards by sound, because that's the thing that you'll be struggling with the most, trying to catch up and trying to hear what we're saying. You will master reading faster than you will master listening. That's just how it works in any given language. So that those are the flashcards. So once you've done the videos, then you do the flashcards, and they will automatically pop up here. So as soon as you have nothing to review, you will start with zero, obviously, and you will not start at 5,000. As soon as you have zero to review, then you're done. Then you can take a rest. And then our algorithm will tell you, okay, now you need to do this word, you need to study this word, and so on and so on. Then there's the other thing as well, which is dialogues, and this is a wonderful little feature. Now, you might have heard of this one already. It is wonderful, simply. Um, as soon as you get a dialogue unlocked, that means you've learned all the words that appear in this dialogue. As soon as that happens, then, which we can see here, if I click view words learned, like our recommended dialogues, then these guys will pop up to you. If you're using the app, they will pop up. Otherwise, you just have to go to your dashboards and check. And these are things that I want you to do as well. As soon as you get 100% here, you can just watch this dialogue. Okay, you can listen to it. Have a listen here, and just well maybe show phonetics, but I don't. I trust you don't actually need that if you take our course. Okay, now the next thing is the course book. Um, Now, these are things you do on your own, and this next thing you're going to do on your own as well. But then I'm going to come in at the end of it. Now, this course book now is pretty interesting. It's something that I've made on my own, and I call it the Course Book 2.0. This is an exclusive material that only Domino Classroom students will get. Okay. Um, by the way, if you like this, I'll tell you more about it later, but you can definitely promote Domino Classroom to all of your friends. Okay, so what we do then is, in this case, I'm going to, first of all, we're going to have the grammar notes here, divided into even lessons within this, again, within this chapter. So in this case, it's level 4, chapter 2. Okay, and then these are just mainly for my sake, so that later on I will actually make grammar points out of these things. And what we do then is during our lessons, we'll be reviewing these grammar points. Okay, I'll show you more later on. Then you're supposed to be doing these things. You don't have to fill out every one. As it says here, you're supposed to break down the character, but most characters just have two parts. So you'll just be able to fill out these two. You don't even have to write out the character. You can just literally just write, it's the guy falling down plus its field. Okay, and let's go down a little bit. Here you have to add at least one character to make a new word. Pretty straightforward, I'd say. And then that is using the words that you've learned, hopefully. And then the next thing is translate to Chinese. Pretty straightforward as well. Again, I've made sure that everything you learn is, or everything that you're told to do here is words that you've just learned and put in the best context possible. Also trying to review words that you've just learned as well, like in previous lessons or in previous chapters as well. And the last thing that I appreciate a lot is that you write down what you hear, because I realize people need to practice a lot more listening. So in this case, what you do is you click this file here. Now, I think yeah, actually, there is a password. If I take this file and I put it on, and I'm not logged in, then there's a little password here that you'll be given. And then you'll be able to do these exercises. And then you'll simply listen to number one. And well, you listen over and over again. And then you just you just write what the Chinese is and the translation, and then you are good to go. You can't, yeah, you can't. You don't get the key, you don't get the answer until I come in, because this is when it gets interesting. Let me see before I move on any further. Yes, now let's move on to the lesson. So this is the teacher. Let's call it teacher led lesson. Okay, teacher-led lesson, teacher conducted lesson. Okay, this is then by me. Okay, this is when I come in. This is when stuff gets really exciting. Okay, so by this point you will have done the course book as well, and by now our lesson will start by going through these materials, okay? And then I will focus on the most important things here, or also the things that people tend to struggle with the most, the concepts that are the most, well, hard to grasp simply. Okay, then what I do is not just go through them with you, but we've actually made, let me see if I can find that here somewhere. We've actually made exercises out of everything. So every single grammar point here in our teacher book, we have a URL. So for instance, in level 3, there's a grammar point which says 有点 or versus 一点. And then we explain it here. give you a few examples, give you, and we also always give you examples of when we can't use it. And then we tell you to make this sentence for us and fill in the gap, for instance, and then you just click here to show the answer. And there you go, that was the answer. And there you go, that was the answer, and so on, and so on. And this is something that we'll be going through in the lesson. So we'll be working interactively with this, with everyone here, with every student in the class. So that is one thing that we'll be doing during the teacher conducted lesson. Oh, sorry about that. Teacher conducted lesson. Now, the next thing that we'll be doing is, well, we'll be going through this. Most of this you'll be doing on your own. We'll be correcting some of these things. I'll point out some because I'll be going through every one of your homework, and I'll point out to the ones that are the most common mistakes. And this is what you'll be helping me with as well, trying to find out what the most common mistakes are, so we can focus on those and untangle that stuff. Okay, so that is it from that. And then the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to have a little break there, and then we are going to go to practice. Okay, again, insert a little password there, and then practice is literally just going to be well, applying what you've just learned. So now you know all the concepts and you get all of that stuff. Wonderful, and you've cemented it as well. Now you get the key vocab here, which is what key vocab is. It's quite self-explanatory. However, this obviously it doesn't mean you can just study these things, but it's the key vocab that relates to everything that you learn in this lesson. During this section here, you're going to read. We're going to have different dialogues, or we're also going to just read the story time, which is now updated as well. And after that, I'm going to read sentences to you, or you're going to, and this is what we're going to do in breakout rooms. Sorry about that. We're going to do breakout rooms here. You're going to listen to these things, and then you're going to get the answers later on. So, for instance, in this case, it's you listen here, and then it says what place is 这是什么地方. You need to write what place is this in English and in Chinese. So that is the practice exercise for this chapter. Once that is done, for every teacher-led lesson, we can call it a class. Maybe that makes more sense. Let's call it a class. Let's call this just a class, because a lesson could be a video lesson as well on the website. So classes is what you have with me. Then, for instance, I'm going to tell you to play around with the time. We're going to make some exercises with that, or we're going to do the introduce your family. So here is where we really start applying what you've just learned. Excellent. So in this case, for instance, I'm going to insert what you do as well, and I'm going to record it so you can listen to it later on. This is with Tim, for instance, a guy that I'm working with currently at the moment. So he made this dialogue for us, and then we read it together, and then I recorded it for him. So now he can listen to it and we can read it as well. Okay, so that is pretty much it with the. Now we've gone through the videos on the website, the flashcards, the dialogues, the course book, what that looks like, and the classes as well. And that will be about 2 hours. And also, what I really want to tell you about as well is the review exercises. I'll put them here actually. There was a reason why I put them at the end, but they also fit here. Now, I'm going to watch you, but other people, like other teachers, are also going to watch you in order to help you. So, um, in order to like customize and individualize your experience and your learning here, we're going to set our teachers to the task of looking at you and seeing what you struggle with. And then we will send you individual exercises and pages from our grammar notes that you need to practice on. So, for instance, say that conveniently enough, you need to work on this thing. This is actually quite a common thing that you will most likely have to work on. In this case, we'll probably just bring it up in class and talk about it. Now, Jianan is my teacher assistant, I can call it, or my teacher colleague here actually in this project. She'll come in during a few lessons and she'll conduct a few lessons. She'll also be a guest and she'll also watch you and recommend what you should be working on. So maybe one day Jenna will come to you and she'll say, work on this. Excellent. Now, at the end of every level, this is when this comes into mind, especially because at the end of every level, we will sum up everything for you and tell you exactly what you're struggling with and what not, and what you need to work on a little bit more. It will send you the corresponding exercises with that as well. So that's something that I'm really proud of, very excited about. Now, moving on to Discord. Um, as you can see here, this is Discord. Now, you're going to come in, you're going to get a welcome message, and you are going to belong to classroom one. Let's ignore this one, classroom two. We're going to have a general chat where you can talk to your students. The teachers, me included, are going to be in this in all of these ones, but this is where you just chat. So I recommend that you chat about anything really, and also we'll make sure that our teachers are here and that we ask you questions as well, so that maybe if we're studying words that relate to family in during one class, then we'll ask you a few questions, and it's really important that you stick to it here. Okay, and then you just interact with each other here. I also want to show you that you can log into a classroom here, which is now live. So what I'm doing here is, let me see if I can go into it. Actually, yeah, here. So, um, so what happens here is that you actually when you're studying, you can just pop in here, and then anyone can pop in as well. And now I'm live, but with my voice, so anyone can jump in here. It's like a library where just people sit and they study together. Very, very nice indeed. Now, there's a bit of lesson info. If there's any changes to that, or whenever we have a lesson, we'll announce that automatically here. You can also ask questions about the lesson here. And let me see if I get to feedback now. Yeah, feedback is the next thing. So in 1 second, I'll tell you about that. Yeah, you'll be given the course books and the work book and or the course book basically. You'll be given that here uh, before every lesson, and you'll also submit it to us here, unless I thought of a better way by the time that you're doing this. Um, and then another thing, again, bear in mind here that you are getting a heavily reduced price for this, and you're getting lessons with me as well personally, and I'm going to take care of you and make sure that you speak better Chinese than I do at the end of this. And so yeah, there's the feedback thing, and then what we do then is we're going to send you from these feedback links. So, for instance, when you finished level one, chapter one, then you're simply going to get this link, and you're going to go in here, and you're going to say which course you belong to. So it's the Felix pilot group then, and then you're going to say well, overall impression, not so good, just not so good, just not so good, I guess. Um, did you learn something? No, thank you. And the important part here is that this might seem a bit overwhelming. I've tried to make it really short and concise. If you don't have anything new to say, you don't have to fill this out. But I much recommend that I would hope that you could help us out with it, because this is why I make this cheap, so we can get your opinion on things. It's anonymous as well, so I won't ever be able to hunt you down if you give me any criticism, which I'm very sensitive about. I am just kidding, do not worry. I love criticism, that's why you're here. Okay, so you both get to pay much less than everyone else and to criticize me. Isn't that wonderful? Now, let's look at our schedule. This is our schedule here, and this is just it's actually Monday to Thursday. I'm going to change this and copy this, change it to our pilot group schedule, and then it's going to be Tuesdays and Fridays. And this is just to show you if it started January the 1st, going through all the levels, it would end. Sorry about that. It would end here the ninth month, September, at the end of September then. And I also want to show you, it's very, very straightforward here. We have the lesson reviews, and then we have the times here as well. And then you have the self-review, which you can read more about later on. Some course references as to like how much you'll be learning and everything. No time to discuss that in this video. Now, when you finish a video, or sorry, when you finish a level, then we'll review that level. Level one isn't that demanding, so we'll skip straight on to level two, which is interesting as you can see here. However, right after level two stops, actually, I'll skip this one as well. Let me go to let me go to this one. This is more interesting. So you can see this is level three, chapter three, level three, chapter four, level three, chapter five. Now, once you've done that, we will send you exercises to review. Review level one, for instance. You can see here, this is the review of level four. It's mostly going to be audio based because that's what I want you to practice with. So this is level one, chapter one. Then we've taken some audio files from there, the most useful ones that we could gather. and then level 1, chapter 2. So I just want you to listen to these things then, okay? And by the time you finish a level, we want you to review, take one day and just review the words from the previous level. So first of all, do the flashcards, and remember you can toggle and select the flashcards only for one level. So you can say flashcards only level 1, and then you review and listen to these exercises. And that's all you have to do one day. Level 2, you do the same thing there. Level 3, you do the same thing there. So these are over 3 days, you do 3 levels, just reviewing. And then in order to retain everything, because that's really important, you're going to learn so much, but the most important thing is going to be to retain it. So we're going to actually, as you can see here, Thursday to the next Thursday, we're not going to progress at all, in whatever, well, that depends on the definition of progressing, but we're not going to move on further in the course for a whole week. That is because the next lesson here, or the next class with me, we're going to not dedicate to learning more things or new things. We're going to simply take, at the end of every level, we're going to take one class and just review things. Here I'm going to go through the most common mistakes, and this is why it's important as well, that you get your grammar notes so you can will individualize it and send them to you so you can work on your own things at your own pace as well. Wonderful. And this is simply what it looks like. By the way, by the end of level 5, I'll show you a little list here somewhere. Here. Now by the age of, in the eight, by the end, sorry about that, by the end of level 5 here, so it's a DC levels is goes down vertically, and HSK levels they go horizontally. Now again, the whole HSK thing is not really what this program is about. It's about making you speak and converse comfortably in Chinese. The HSK is just simply a measurement of success that is tangible, measurable. Now, level by the time you finish level 1 or level 5 in DC, you will only actually know. I will say only in quotations here. You will only be able to finish HSK of 1, but that actually means you'll know 100%. You don't even. I think you need like 70% to pass the test or something like that. But that's never the point here. The point is to pass everything. We work a lot with mastery, which you can read more about in our blog as well. Mastery means, well, let's focus on what you don't know, because if what you don't know is something important, then we can't build on that, and we'll just fail more and more by every step we progress. Then it'll take 3 levels to get up to latest K level 2. Then it will actually start picking up much quicker here. Then it will just take 1 level to HK level 3, and this is supposed to say HK level 4. Good that I saw that here. Okay, then by level 12, we will pass HSK 4. Okay, and then we'll move on if people are interested, and if I'm interested, which I will most definitely be, we'll move on to HSK level 5, and I'll create a unique and exclusive syllabus for you there as well. Wonderful. So let me go all the way back here. Sorry if you get nauseous after watching this. Now, finishing a level. So what we'll do, yeah, what I want to discuss here or show you quickly was that by the end of a level, for instance, HSK level or Domino level 5, then we're ready for HSK 1. And it will take a week. We might move the schedule depending on how it goes. We might need to take 2 levels or 2 classes to pass this HSK 1. And again, I want to point out here, it's impossible for us to wait. We can't wait for you to our guarantee can't wait until you sign up for the test and until it's convenient for you to sign up to the test, which depends on where you are in the world. The test might come at different times. So we will do a mock-up test, and if you pass that one, it'll be conducted by a certified HSK teacher who will also attend our course. Then, if you pass this one, then you will count as if you passed the official HSK course because it's the exact same thing. Excellent work. Okay, now that is it with that. Finishing a course, that's what I discussed there as well. Then they will take 1 or 2 classes to just sum up the whole thing. What are the lessons like? You might wonder. We'll be conducting lessons on Zoom, and here you won't hear anything. This is simply what it looks like for me, but looks a bit more amateur because I'm creating the syllabus with the students at the moment. I have an exclusive one-on-one session here with Tim, who works for the Swedish embassy in China. So we're like 2 months ahead of you, but we're doing the exact same thing. Also setting the standard, setting the syllabus. So we'll do breakout rooms, and you'll be able to discuss with each other. We'll do review sessions, but with the practice sessions, it'll mostly be breakout rooms where I will pop through and on and off, and then we'll do it fully intact in a class with everyone. Where maybe I ask you a question and you need to translate something and so on and so on. Or I'll give you exercises and then I'll break you up into different rooms. Excellent. Now, it's very hard to say, but in this course, there'll be about 10 to 15 students. Okay. Now, the goal of the course, as you know, is going to be that you will, let me see, yeah, you will pass this and this and this and this by this time. Okay, so if you just look at the schedule, you'll see by which time, or after how long, you will pass HSK 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now, note you can also read about HSK level 4 if you go to our schedule here. I'm not going to brag too much, but our course here is simply so much faster than everyone else. Here, it's by the end, it picks up. First, it's just 7% more, then it's 25% more, then it's incredibly incredulous 228% more or faster, and then it's 328% faster by the end of by the time you reach HK4. Um, so what we do as well is we're not just faster, but if you follow our recommendations, I've not clearly defined them, I must tell you just yet, and I'm hoping that we can define them together. It simply has to do with recommendations. Okay, so I need you to do these and these things, such and such. Then I can't blame you for having done anything wrong. And in that case, if you fail, it's my fault. So I will give you 3 lessons, and that's on me until you pass whichever given HSK level we're talking about here. Okay. So, so that is my guarantee to you. Again, we'll define the requirements together. And what I imagine that we'll say is whatever the guidelines are, whatever the recommendations are, if you get 1 strike or 2 strikes, I guess, within an HSK level, then your discount or your guarantee, you lose your guarantee. That doesn't mean in any way that you'll have to stop doing the course. It just means that we can't guarantee anymore. However, all the students doing everything that we ask of them, even getting a few strikes, they will still be given, they will actually be given this guarantee then that this program comes with. That means that I'm so confident about this program, that I'm willing to give you a guarantee. I'm also even more confident after doing this with the test student or pilot student right now, Tim, because he is so good and he's only at HSK 5 and we're already speaking in Chinese and reading, I must tell you. Okay, again, if you have any questions about anything else, please let me know. Just contact me on a first name basis. Those are the goals. Now, the tuition, let me move to the very, very end here. Now, the tuition is the course start now is the February the 22nd. Okay, and in this email that you probably got, where the video link came, I will also have sent you an invoice. Okay, I'll send you 4 different invoices actually. You can choose which one you prefer to pay with. Now, as soon as you pay, that invoice will be valid, and that invoice that you can probably read it on your own. I don't have to read it for you, but it states that these and these things are things that are guaranteed to be given to you as you pay this tuition fee. Basically, the things that I've been discussing here. So if you think that, oh, there's too many students in this course, there's not just me and Felix, I'm not going to learn anything. Well, you are going to learn. You have my promise of that. And that is simply why we signed this contract. Now, I want to tell you as well that I'm interested in your money, obviously, because without it, I can't eat. But what I'm more interested in is succeeding with you and making you speak Chinese. That is my main primary interest. Okay, so that means I'm very keen on you, well, finishing this course with me for whatever reason you might have for not finishing it. And so what I'm doing then is I'm hoping that as many as possible can do a one-off payment, okay? And that is upfront then. And I'm encouraging people to do that then by giving you a little deducted price here. If you pay that upfront, it's $1,100. If you do two splits, then one comes in February, one comes in May, then they're both at 600. If you do three splits, they come at 420 each. Okay. Or they're 325 each if it's four splits. And you can see how the price goes up tiny here or gradually as you do more splits. Wonderful. Again, I hope you understand why I'm doing this. Again, I'm giving you a very cheap option here of just being a part of this pilot program. So I hope you don't mind me charging you a bit extra if you want to well wait on with the payment until or linger on the payment for until like September already. Okay, so that is basically all I have to tell you about this program. This is a personally recorded message just to you, my fellow student, and I hope that yeah you find this email and you find this video well. And as soon as you've paid, then well, you get another confirmation, and then I will see you on the 22nd. Wonderful. Again, let me know if you have any questions. As soon as again, another thing that I want to say as well is as soon as you've signed up, I will and paid as well. Um, then I will put you into our Discord program, or to Discord server, and that where you can meet our teachers, where you can meet your fellow students, and you can start preparing for the course. And that's all I have to say. Thank you again for watching and listening, and I hope you enjoyed this thoroughly. Goodbye.